Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Good afternoon. It's drive time with Dave. I'm Dave. I'll be your driver. Today is Friday. A lot of my employees are very excited that it's Friday. I have little to no feelings about Friday because I just think of all the work that gets piled up on Saturdays and Sundays. So Fridays are not exciting by any means for me. It's the end of the work week for the employees. They get paid and they go do whatever it is that they do. I have no idea what that would be. So I decided after the last couple days of putting together all the bogus information about, people that want to work out of their house and make money with no investment, no time, no inventory. It always comes back to the same thing. As much as I try to entertain all that malarkey, that's exactly what it is. We all know there's only one way. And under that way, there are many, many opportunities. Work, invest money, and invest time. And what I did learn from making those videos about how to work from home was it is possible to make money on that Amazon MTurk. And that's the gist of this. I had a few subscribers leave comments. One of which was Lindy Glenn, another very good YouTuber. I like Lindy very much. That she started using MTurk to make a little extra money and used that money to buy her first inventory that she started selling on eBay. And so when people are talking about they don't have any money to buy anything, well, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a way, you've got to have will. You have to have drive and determination, and I can talk about motivation and inspiration, and you've got to want to, and you need to be a better person, you need to pick yourself up, and you need to get going and get started and all these things. But all the things that I say aren't actually going to cause people to do anything that they don't want to do. And they start wanting to make money when the problems hit the fan. So at the moment that life starts getting hard and squeezing down on you is when people start looking for a way to get out of their bad situation, when they should have been looking at getting out of their bad situation before the situation turned into what it did. Because they don't realize that I'm going to make some bad examples here because I don't know any other way to do this, but people don't realize they're in a bad situation. They're just kind of muddling through life and they can't see it. So I went to the mall, which I'm not a mall person. I don't go to the mall, but there's a Ferris wheel, not a Ferris wheel. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me rewind. Hi. I'm Dave, and today I am sitting in traffic moving 5 miles an hour. As you can see directly out my window, this is the rate of speed that I'm traveling because I chose to leave my office at 4 o'clock. And what a poor decision that was. I should have made a better decision about what time I should leave, as I'm explaining how people can't see the situation that they're in until it's too late. Case in point, I cannot see. I knew better when I was at the office earlier that I should be leaving, it's Friday, and I should be leaving at 3:30 and not 4 o'clock to prevent this from happening to me. But I did not make a good choice. And here I am. And there is no way out. of this. Now I am stuck. And this is what people that want to make money don't seem to realize, that you can't all of a sudden one day when things get really hard, you can't think clearly enough. When enough pressure is being put on you to make good decisions. And as terrible it is to say that Amazon's MTurk, and I'm just going back to that again, allows people to be able to work out of their house. And I didn't say by any means that I agree with the money, but 30 years ago, when I didn't have a job, I'd probably lost my job or something. I don't want to make this story too crazy, but so I was unemployed, or whatever it is that I was doing at that point, 18. So I was 18 30 years ago. So now everybody knows how old I am. Yep, that's right. My grandmother called to check on me. I've talked about her before. One of my previous videos, the things that you learn from grandma, things you learn from grandma. That's right. And I learned a lot from her, and I applied them to today. And that's another thing that you have to be able to do, is take advice loosely and be able to apply the pieces that would make a difference in your life. Not everything that I say or anyone says to you can change your life. Okay, so she called me and she's like, hey, so your mother said you lost your job. Listen, when I was 18, I was probably working at McDonald's. I gotta be honest. I think I worked at McDonald's one day. And that is a very funny story. So your mother called me very angry you lost your job. Okay. She goes, so you need to go find another job. I understand that, and I will do so. Yep. She goes, well, she said that you went and you found another job, but you chose not to take it. That is probably correct, because at that point, 30 years ago, minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. And my grandmother said, any money is better than no money. And I said, but for the value of the time invested, no money will be better than the emotional cost of what I would endure to make that $3.35. And she simply just said, you're wrong. And one of these days you'll understand why you're wrong. You just don't understand it today. So we fast forward to today, this very moment, I realize I am wrong, because as I'm going to follow up and say, the fact that MTurk system, and there's a few other ones like that system that you can sign up for, that you could tonight at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, you go to sleep, you wake up because you can't sleep because you're worrying. I do that plenty. I'm worrying when I lay down to go to sleep, and about 2 hours later I wake up and I have so many worries that I pop up out of the bed. I can't even possibly go back to sleep. And I go and I get on my computer and I spend hours from 2 until 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't even sleep, just whatever, reading. And you could at that moment go on that system and make yourself what's equivalent to $5 an hour. And that's terrible money. At 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting there in your pajamas, and you make $15. Well, that doesn't sound like very much. But all of a sudden you're doing it night after night, and you spend those 3 hours. And we all know I'm really bad at math. But every 10 of those days, those 3 hours, 10 days, every 10 days, that's $150. So you mean you could make an extra $450 a month for a few hours working at home? Yeah, it's not minimum wage, and there's a lot of bad information provided on the internet about how people are working for less than minimum wage and the poverty line and all this stuff. And I think that system, to be able to, at 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever moment that you've got free. So once I learned that, I went to one of the girls in the office who, on her lunch break, she's on lunch, sitting at her desk, eating, and she's furiously working on something. And so I noticed, and so finally I went and I asked her, and she actually, on her lunch break, she has applied. I say applied because I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know what I'm talking about, but there's something where you get additional credentials on that MTurk system, where because she could type like 80 words a minute, and her punctuation and grammar are on another level. I gotta be honest, I barely does the comma go here? That's just me. So her punctuation, grammar, and typing skills are all. So she tells me that in 1 hour, she makes like $18. That's more than I pay her. I said, well, why wouldn't you do that full time from home? Because she then proceeded to explain that she tried it before she come to work for me, and that she cannot stay motivated or driven to maintain constant workflow at that pace. But for that one moment, that 1 hour of her lunch, she can do it. And then she goes back to what I want her to do. I mean, she makes like $15 an hour, and she makes $18. But I realized that she said that she couldn't maintain enough of these little jobs, hits, to maintain that pay, because I'm like, well, $18 an hour, I mean, that's a very good wage. Especially if I could type 80 words a minute, and my punctuation and grammar, my English skills, and if I could translate and transcribe, and she speaks Spanish, so she is like blazing, and she goes on there and she translates stuff from English to Spanish and back and forth, and that's how she makes that much money. Not everybody has the skill to do that. So the normal person like me, I could go on there and I could roughly make $5 in an hour, and so that's why I'm like, well, I could make $5 an hour and I could make $15, and then you got somebody like her that could make $18 in 1 hour, and I can make $5 an hour. So it's all based on your skill level, but it's all it's all computer literacy and how quickly you can type and your English. Okay, we all got it right. So as bad a rap as it gets for the amount of people that work for less than minimum wage or on the poverty level, then you have people with skills like her that could excel. But she also explained that there's not enough of those jobs on there that it could become full time. And I said, but if you were sitting at home 7 days a week, couldn't you make more money than you work here for me? And she goes, probably, but again, I can't stay on task. I can't stay focused, because when I'm at home, there's too much other stuff going on, and so maybe was the answer. And she goes, and I tried it and I couldn't do it, and so that's what brought me here, and I'm very happy here, and I'm not planning on leaving. She followed up with all that stuff, and I said, no, it's completely fine. I understand. I'm always for, if you can make more money, I'm all for it. If an employee says, hey, I've got a better job offer that pays more money, absolutely, I'm all for it. My feelings are never going to be hurt because someone wants to make more money. They want to better themselves. They want to build a better life. And everything that we do is stepping stones. And that's what's important. Whether I make lateral movements or I go up. Sometimes I have to go down, go over, come back up. I've done it all. And so when I see this and I think, gosh, there's an opportunity here that you can make some money, I'm like, gosh, it's, then here's what really happens in my head. Wow, I could hire 10 people, put them on the mechanical Circ system under my name. I could pay them $12 an hour. They could make me $18 an hour. I'm Tom Sawyer. But that's how I think immediately is there some way I could leverage this to benefit me, and I could then have the process in place and put the demand on employees that could not stay focused on their own, because not everyone has the ability to stay on track, stay on task. Which leads back to those of us who sell on eBay and Amazon and Etsy and all these online marketplaces, and how you have to go out and source, and you get home and you have to list, and listing is the answer. The more you get listed, the more money you make. And it takes an extraordinary amount of time to get enough listings up and then maintain those listings to have a good sell-through rate to make a good income. And so then I realized you could make a little extra money if you've only got so much money to work with, but you've got a few extra hours in the evening, and I don't have anything to list, and my job is 9 to 5, and the kids are in bed, I have nothing to list, and I have no more money. No more excuses. That's my answer. No more excuses at that point, because now I know how you could simply, in 2 or 3 or 4 hours of time in the evening, make a little extra money that in 30 days you could start putting towards more inventory. Gosh, and that's very exciting. That today is my lesson, boys and girls. I may have to go home and try to make myself a little extra money. I'm not a fast typer. I type with 2 fingers, and listen, there's no way I could pretend to do some kind of data entry or anything, because I simply type too slow. I'm a talker. Now, if they come up with a system that's like voice activated and I can talk to it, all right. That's all I can say. Like, sign me up. I will get on there and I will talk to that thing for 4 or 5 hours. And on that note, I'm Dave, and this was Drive Time, and I'll see you soon.